Alright, so we'll play the league with this copy-pasted deck from Edgar's Magalesh's video. In mana base of 26 lands, Niv-Mizzet Reborn trying to fit the new super powerful card in there. There are reasons to believe that Omnath would be better in this type of a shell than it typically is in the more traditional control deck, like the one that I played a few times already. Because you can spend the mana more proactively. You can go Omnath, fetchland, Niv-Mizzet, or Omnath, fetchland, bring to light for whatever you want, for example, a Niv-Mizzet Reborn. So that helps. There's a lot of singleton choices in the decklist that might be better or worse. A lot of them are gonna be targets for bring to light. Besides that, you have the powerful cards in Ren, Lightning Helix, Uro, and main the Glittering Wishes to fetch for a wide variety of effects. I certainly like Thoughtseize in the side, but that sounds like good stuff. But might be lacking in some matchups. For example, against Tron, there is virtually no way to stop your Tron opponent, but Tron is pretty mediumly played. Alright, Twitch chat, you're in March on our way to acquiring a trophy with the Niv-Mizzet deck too, so that I can become the trophy leader. So far I have 3. Well, the trophy leader has 10, so I actually don't, like, it's not even that far. Well, it is pretty far, but I don't think I can keep this on the draw, even though this will be a true test of Omnath's power in the format. Swamp awkward with Omnath. Maybe I put back Omnath. We have 10-1 this, 2 this, 10-3 whatever I wish for, 10-4 bring to light. Makes sense. Actually, my mana here is not very good in general. I really want to put this on white, so I guess I'll go in Danta, fetch a forest, wish, and then we can, then it's free on the given turn, so we can get a fire spot on red. Could play Ren to fix my mana, and then my opponent needs to perform an action to attack Ren. But I think I'd rather go Glittering Wish this turn. And I'll Glittering Wish for a Fire Spout. Those basics are so hot, I know. Really? Interesting. Imagine online class, aren't we all on that? Imagine losing kanister lesson. Heck W. It's true, Johnster. This is somewhat imperfect. I guess I missed Giganta, I should have wished for Giganta. I should have grabbed fetch an island and fetch a Giganta, I guess. Although, very unlikely that I'll actually fetch Giganta this game, so yeah, information is probably worth more. Like, my opponent knowing that I'm tapped out, they might go after Ren instead of going after me, but it seems like they're just going face. 4 life, 3 low life total. I'm dead to bolt, but I'm fine with that. I go in Island, play an Omnath, Uro, let's see if they push in response, they don't. Now I play fetch, and I gain 4. I could play Bring to Light for Clarion, but it's not on the range. Well, technically it could have been, but which I need to request more songs. I can't Bring to Light for Verdict because not in the deck. I guess if I fetch a white, no, I can have triple white to Glittering Wish for a Verdict. Just gonna have to hope that I can block this Scorch and survive, I think. I like the upkeep fetch. That's Cognizant of Fatal Push being a card. But cracking the Canopy Canyon looks good for me. Another Thoughtseize. Well, so I guess that's technically a problem. I get the Niv here. Then I'm dead to bolt, but it's seems like... Well, I know, because I can't spend the red. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I can't possibly do that. Kaneki are gonna play Fall Guys Season 2. I don't know what Season 2. I guess the Giganta is in the deck. I still can't Verdict because it's not possible to cast. Teferi or Assassin's Trophy. Niv would be simple, but I can't play the Niv, so I can't do that because then I die on board. Because the 5-color mana base is not that, you know, not actually that nice. Do I not have a plains? Well, yes, but I have 2 red sources in 7 mana, so I wasn't able to play Niv. I think the Teferi is a little bit better. Ego is excellent, and by excellent I mean actually not. Much easier to play when you draw a Pillar of the Pardons or 2, because then you actually get to the style that you wanted to do. Right now we need to draw action. Lightning Helix, it's not really action. Do Blessings. So it looks like the list that I was playing for the most part. 4 Lava Dart. Scourge, free TBR, Soul Scar, Beast Spear, Death Shadow. Alright. So the sole reason why I lost this game was because the mana base disobeyed me. Ren is medium at best in this matchup, I guess. Like, cutting Ren is also kinda like cutting a mana base. Like, this is 26 lands, but possibly because you're playing Ren for your mana, but so bad to draw multiples. And 1 is perfect. Not sure if I should have even played this on turn 1. What's up, Tara Asik? Ate my You know, it's the wrong trial. Guess it's like all of the same colors on this. Probably. The wish technology is kinda weird, like I can't tell if it's good or just sabotaging the deck. They need a white source and a black source. We're gonna play the swamp and play Niv on next turn. And this is gonna fetch in Danta. Oh no, a 6/6 creature that's soon gonna become a 7/7. I don't think I'll have time to fetch triumphs, and I lost a game to the mana base, so not looking forward losing an extra one. I pick Uro. Actually, I didn't even look particularly closely. Probably should have picked the Bring to Light, although I guess a 4/6 is better. Kanister. Fuck. Force him to fetch. Go to 4. 2 mana, 14/14. Exactly. Broken Staff. I guess I'm dead on board. Ren is pretty weird in Modern because Ren is just plainly bad so often. Beat the Swarm, I guess. And in this matchup, certainly it's much better to actually have Path to Exile as your removal, as your early game cards. No swamp, no problem. I'll get a Cactria. Playing Ren and 6, summoning my Mystery Forest back to my hand. Raving Triumph, so it's gonna be either Jeskai or 4 color. Well, could be the mirror, I guess. I guess I'll fetch an Overgrown Tomb. Make sure that all my colors are being supplied. Yes, I want to play an Uro, a multicolored spell by using Pillar of the Paruns, a land that lets me spend my mana on multicolored spells. I'm really looking forward to that model. Like, that is a legit pain while playing this deck, is that Pillar of the Paruns is so annoying. Next turn, I guess, well, if they had a fetch up with, which would signify the possibility of... They mess up? Was that the only untapped black stars that Missy could get? Yeah, you're right. I just realized that now I can't go Omnath into Niv because there's not many black sources. That's sad times. And by sad times I mean, well, I made a mistake. I guess I'll just play Niv-Mizzet alone, but that's significantly worse. Why don't you go Omnath into Bring to Light for something? Because I think taking this opportunity to resolve Niv is better, because Niv is stronger. And I can Bring to Light for Niv. Like, why would I go with this line? Guess I'll ditch the land. Bring it back with Ren on the next turn. I don't know which is the best to grab, so I'll grab whatever. Bring to Light for Teferi, you can't do that now. Set your library for a creature inside or sorcery card. Legendary Planeswalker. I'm playing Omnath. I guess I just played it into a mana leak, but that's how I wanted to do it. Teferi needs flash. Exactly. They want to force that, it's fine. I think I can't really lose. I use my Ren to ping your Ren. Fine. I agree with your move. I'll put Path to Exile on top of the deck. Alright, so I'm gonna use a Gross Spiral trick. A Chase. That resolves. Let's Helix the Chase now. Sorcery Speed Path. Feels weird, man. Can fetch Temple Garden still. What do we name? Field of the Dead? Cryptic Command? I guess Cryptic Command. I don't know. Ura? I think it's more effective to exile Field of the Dead first actually than Ura. I guess I just wait on the Bring to Light. Cast it end of turn. Alright, I'll cast this so they don't can get the mana. I think exiling is the best. A bunch of viral stuff force you to step up from Twitch a bit. Hate when that happens. I should have attacked face because I would have triggered Omnath dealing 4 damage to opponents and Planeswalkers, so I missed damage. Is some of the best Magic card in Standard, Historic and Modern? I don't think it's close to. It's not that good. Thank you for the Sabian Drake, but I have no idea what you're laughing at. As this deck is extremely serious. In your draw step, I'm going to name Field of the Dead. No, right now I'm gonna name Cryptic Command. Because that's the way it can bounce it in. And they probably won't have much other ways. I guess they could draw both. 2 Hero of Dominaria. Oh, that's the John Starless without Hour, I see. Thank you. My hand is Mana Leak and Uro. As someone who is planning to play in one of the vintage events for Eternal Weekend later this month, but who wants to play something super off the wall, do you have any recommendations? If I had a recommendation for you, it wouldn't be super off the wall, it would be just mildly off the wall because somebody else would hear and maybe play against this deck or like play with this deck or something else. So I'm sorry, but by the nature of your question, I can't help you on that quest. Thank you for the sub. I bring to light for a Dobbins veto. Well, Fozzies is pretty excellent. Chaos Kyle is fine to have versus Uro. And Murdigo we probably shouldn't bother with. How many subs for green hair? I don't want to. Maybe I cut the sprawls. I could cut 2 more sprawls for 2 egos, but that's like only really a plan when I ultra end, and I ultra end, and Trophy is also the same kind of a plan. Can you please never play Omnath again after this leak? Thank you. I would be more willing to comply with your request if you were a subscriber, but as you are not, I'm not. How many subs will you use your unlimited channel points to unban KCI? Which doesn't work this way. It's not like I can say, alright, I'll end poverty in the world, and poverty ends. And similarly, it's not as simple as the KCI unban. Have you played Pioneer after the banning of your favorite deck, Blue-Black Inverter? No. Maybe I should add the end poverty request. I played a little bit of Pioneer after they banned Inverter, but very little. And I stopped entirely now. I don't even play the challenges. I didn't play the showcase, the Pioneer showcase, because well, partially because I was testing for the grand finals, but I also didn't care. Thank you for the bits, Zontek. What is your price, Kaneki? I don't know, what do you mean? Will you do donation leagues? Whenever asked, I say that if you pay me $25 USD, I'm willing to play your deck for your league. So, yes. Well, whether I'll do them depends on whether if I'll get offers, right? Or like, not offers, like decks. Donations for decks. Kinda want to take the Gust so that I can resolve my Ren, but then they have Omnath in hand, which I can't cleanly immediately answer, but it seals some turns away from now. If they force, it takes their resources. On the other hand, I can just play the Ren and get it Gusted and then replay Ren on the next turn. Yeah, I think I'll take the Omnath. If they Gust my Ren, it's just fine. Just gonna put it on top and replay it. Chica de Sopa, thank you for the extremely nice sugar-coated words. Next time we fought Ren, play Tapland, then we can play Niv. I guess the problem is that they have force mana, but well, they're gonna have to force that, or not. So little point in playing Ren now into force mana. Let's not do that. Is it clearly the best deck in the format, Black-Red Shadow? I think it's pretty decidedly not. I mean, like, it doesn't feel to me like it should be. I guess I played myself. I mean, I couldn't done it better. Like, I can still play the Ren now just to force a full force of 2 cards, so that's what I can do. But if I drew a white land, I could have played Niv-Mizzet for a good threat against Jace. We also play Teferi on the next turn, then play cards, and we can beat Jace this way, although you received a level 1 hype training mode. Let's share that. Choo choo hype chimp. Oh, that's a chimp, okay. Hype simp. Funny. How are you against Shadow deck without any PTE or Exile effect? Question mark. Please, dot. Thanks. I think this matchup was pretty bad. I played it here and I lost pretty badly. The combination of not having real removal against their threats and also my mana base being shaky at times. Which Ethergas on top? So I guess I did get punished pretty heavily for not taking that Ethergas, although my Ren would have still gotten forced on turn 2. Yes, they have a gas, so we can still play. Oh, if I floated red, I could have played Ren. I was thinking of Assassin's Trophy and Thoughtseize. So, too bad. If I had a Ren to get a fetch right now, just sneezing enough off the board, I guess I did. No, Ren kills my Teferi. And now they have another gas and the Jace. Oh. Can't win anymore. Hi Kaneki, I watched your video on the 4th dimension today and had to think of you. Do you consider your magic skills beyond Normie's comprehension? No, I don't. Sad. I think it would be sad if I did, because then I would be obviously lying to myself. I'll concede the game because I see that my opponent has accrued enough of an advantage to crush me. They want 2 helixes over those 2 sprawls. The helix is to kill the Jaces. They had 2 Jaces, right? Now they only had 1 Jace, they had 2 Teferis. Big Teferi is weak against Big Teferi. Doesn't make sense. Interesting game. Kanister, just wanna say that I'm a huge fan, man. Any small fans in the chat? Or just huge fans? Small fan here, smiley face. Good. Alright. Now we have a force. Fetch land. Fetch land. Fetch land and no force. Fuck. This deck looks rad. Not sure. Hater here. What up? What do you dislike the most about my content? I can fetch a tapped in Dantha. Or I can fetch a... I don't have black blue, yeah, I don't really have anything better than in Dantha here. Is Skewed Swarm broken limited? I would play it, but... I don't know if it's broken. It is like all of the MTG that interrupts Yu-Gi-Oh streams. It's actually the other way around. I stream Magic the Gathering typically, but I interrupt it with Yu-Gi-Oh sometimes. Well, rather than interrupt when I have empty patches with no content, then I play Yu-Gi-Oh. What's this? A swamp. Get out of my swamp! Scammed? Who got scammed? Well, I can only have 1 song in the queue. I guess the song hasn't played yet. They put the veto on top, which is weird because... I guess if the veto is on top, I'm gonna play the Teferi now, get it crypticked, and then play the Niv. One for 15 minutes. I didn't create that rule, but it could be in place. Any mods in chat? Yes, suddenly they are there once the song already played and the request was not fulfilled. You only have 2 cards left in hand. Gibson, why did you skip this? Seraph, are you living in 2 hours ago? So we know they have the veto, let's hope they don't have a gas. Well, doesn't look like a gas, looking for the dispute, huh? Niv actually resolves. They get 3 cards. They're gonna play on someone in Uro, but we have Kayaska, which is a good answer to Uro. I guess Kayaska can't hit my points Uro through Dovin's veto. So you have to hope that they hit my run first. How often do you play paper, magic, kanister? Typically I used to play in the paper tournaments that were happening, but now they are not happening worldwide, so not all that often. Ran first. They vetoed even though they know about the Chaos Gale. Which is kinda weird. Jej tyłek tak puszysty jak Almet. Rystuj się. Don't you have an LGS? I do have an LGS. Which I am visiting to play card games. Jesus, playing this deck is... Like, I get this because it's just relying on drawing Pillar of the Paroons. But like, I'm losing because I can only play 1 spell here. Should it be Niv? Like, isn't it better to play an Omnath actually? Because it can draw me land so that I can have an easier time double spelling and maybe playing the veto alongside something else later on. Mana leak, yeah. The best sprawl seems bad in this deck, I agree. Yeah, Ashale would have been good too. What they put on top, Ashiok. Like I've lost from this position, which is kinda impossible, but I lost because I was not able to cast my spells, so I had 7 lands and I was mana screwed. I can't cast Bring to Light, I guess. Because of Ashiok. We have 4 basics in play and we're playing Utopia Sprawl. Well, that's how the mana base is built, it's gonna fetch basics. Because that's literally what we can get with Prismatic Vistas. And Utopia Sprawl builds on that being a awkward source. My biggest gripe with this deck during this league was the fact that the mana base is not particularly a workable mana base. It all works somewhat fine when you draw Pillar of the Paroons. When you draw Pillar of the Paroons, then you're gonna have this like single 5-color lens gonna help you pay for everything in the way that you would like to. But the games where you do not draw your Pillar of the Paroons, or if it gets Cleansing Wildfire or Field of Ruin or anything else happens, then it's a little bit too rough. On top of that, it's trying to be a Utopia Sprawl deck, which I'm not sure if it's supportable. It's really hard to play a deck without any 1 mana plays in Modern, so I understand why this deck would like to be playing Utopia Sprawls, but it's kind of hard for me to be sold on that. Also has 4 Prismatic Vista in the mana base, which are good because they produce any of the 5 colors in that sense, but when you fetch many of your basics onto the battlefield at the same time, you frequently end up in situations where you can't cast spells because, you know, every single spell in this deck is multicolored besides the Utopia Sprawl, so by its nature, there's not many colorless costs to pay for. Like, there is 0 colorless cost in Omnath, there is 0 colorless cost in Niv-Mizzet. You want 5 different colors for Bring to Light. Uro escapes for blue, blue, green, green, green. All of those have fixed costs that you can't tamper with. I never played a Niv-Mizzet deck before, but it was really infuriating to play and get just losing at least 3 games plainly to mana problems, and like some others I also started sleeping because I was able to only cast 1 spell per turn every single time. The mana base was infuriating and I would not play this deck again in such a form. I would try to play it in a different form when I would have either more triumphs or like more different shocklands. Maybe less Prismatic Vista so that you don't need to fetch basics as often. But I'm not sure what's the optimal fix for that. I would also not play Glittering Wish, instead I would play a real sideboard, as this kind of a half measure doesn't seem very attractive to me. And in general, I don't see that much upside in playing this deck over playing a 4-color control Uro deck. So that's it.